Wake up. Wake up.
Crap. I didn't realize I fell asleep. What time is it? 3 a.m. Not even morning yet, huh? Oh. It's been a while since I've fallen asleep in the middle of work. Come to think of it, I'm starving. What do I have around here to eat? Yeah, a steamed melon pond. Guess I forgot to eat the lunch I bought. Delicious.
Again? You were obsessed with that bread.
Huh?
The melon pond? You practically eat them for every meal. Don't you get tired of the same thing?
And my dietary habits are none of your business. I enjoy the taste, but that doesn't mean it's my favorite thing to eat. I guess I just don't have a craving for anything else. Forget that, Tokiwa. Aren't you swamped with work? Should you be hanging out with me?
Don't worry. I just finished working on a huge block of code, so I wanted to pick on you during my break. Here you go.
Oh, take it easy. You shouldn't throw things without warning me. Oh, it's coffee. Thanks.
No problem. Huh. Looks like someone had a productive evening.
What? What makes you say that?
Your code. I can see the progress you've made on your monitor. 300 lines in one day is something to be proud of.
Hey, don't you have another project to work on or something? You can't just peek at what I'm working on over here.
Oh, loosen up. Who cares? We're both employees for the same company. As far as I'm concerned, my work can be an open book to you.
Yeah. That's why they separate us into cubicles, right? What's the real reason you're over here anyway?
I already told you. I just wanted to pick on you. Seems like our most recent spat left a good impression on you. I know you've got the skill to pull it together, but ever since she went missing, you've seemed totally disinterested in this project.
Let's drop it.
Oh, yeah. I didn't mean to reopen old wounds. I just hoped you could understand.
It's a personal problem. I just don't want to talk about it. It's not your fault, so don't worry.
That's not what I meant. You don't seem to get it, so I'll tell you as many times as you need to hear it. This isn't your fault. You shouldn't have to shoulder that burden on your own.
Right.
Hey, I just realized that bread you like so much, Sheena used to buy those from the shop downstairs, didn't she?
She did. She loved them so much. She used to buy them by the dozen for the office.
Let me guess. Before you knew it, you were hooked. Sounds like some Pavlovian training.
Huh?
What's the matter?
Pavlovian training, huh? I barely noticed.
I think everyone's entitled to slip into bad habits now and then. We just passed a year since Sheena went missing, haven't we?
Yeah. Which marks a year since the World's Odyssey project ended, too.
When things go south, it's easy to push the blame onto a newer employee, but you're beating yourself up too much for how you handled having her on your team. From my point of view, at least, you weren't that strict. I don't think she took the pressure badly either. Don't be so hard on yourself.
What the hell? Cut me open, why don't you?
It's practically written on your face. You're all, everything's my fault, or I'm so sorry, Sheena.
Leave me alone.
Hey, would you mind doing that face again?
What do you mean?
Come on, just one more time. I'll stop bothering you if you make that face again.
You make no sense. Just leave me be. If you won't, then I'll just go home.
Kaboom!
Whoa! How about a warning first? Kind of pervy, don't you think?
Arta, I have the sample you asked for. I followed all your design specs, right? For a heroine-themed booby mouse pad.
Not right now.
Wow. Did you ask the marketing team to work on samples for this? What a turnoff. Well, I guess considering our target audience, it shouldn't surprise me at all.
I think I followed your suggestions to the T, Arta. What do you think? Does it resemble she enough?
Would you quit it?
You asked for this, Arta? Don't tell me that you used Sheena as a model for the heroine.
About that.
Jeez. And you even went ahead and got the right proportions for her bust.
Ah!
It's a little too flat-chested, isn't it? Nothing that can't be fixed. Just need to add some padding over here.
Okay, good night.
Stupid Arta.
Huh?
And on the note of being introduced to our other protagonist Arata Mizunashii, introduced to best girl Tokiwa and lovable goofball Lydia, welcome back to part 3 of Death End Request, where today we're going to find out how Arata came involved in all this mess, through even more cutscenes. The subject just says you've got an unread message. I should have turned the preview field on. I can't see what it reads inside, but it looks like there's an attachment here. What the hell? It might be a virus, so I shouldn't open it, but pretending to have worked on World's Odyssey just to send email to someone who actually worked on this game is so stupid. Wait a second. That's when I put my mouse cursor over the sender line. The email address being displayed was Sheena@wod.com. This is from Sheena? Seriously? It was a test email for Sheena Nina Mew, the girl that had been presumed missing for over a year. I didn't care that it could have been a spam email or some kind of prank. Without a second thought, I clicked it open. Why am I getting an email from her address? Huh? Just as I saw, there was an attachment. I couldn't figure out with its extension what it was, but it was obvious that the file had been compressed. I tried my best to extract the compressed files with a few basic expansion tools, but for whatever reason, I couldn't open them. Even if I clicked on it, it won't open. Is this a strange zip file or something? I've never seen an email like this before. Try as I might, I couldn't open the attachment. My brain was being pulled from all directions. First a sender line, now this attachment. My frustrations made my cheeks beat red, but there was something I just could not do to open it. What proxy server could have this come from? All the servers should have been down. I was at a loss. My next course of action was access to World Odyssey servers, knowing full well it was probably deactivated. What? You gotta be kidding me. After we unplugged the server, the cache should have been emptied and deleted. How the hell is this happening? World's Odyssey? Wait, what's going on? The screen's becoming erratic. It's buggy as all hell. This is bad. This is nowhere near as messy as when I last touched it. How would any bugs be able to penetrate a firewall when the device is shut down entirely? What if I open the control panel? Oh, this is no good. These lines of code are totally jumbled. An entire year had passed since the incident. The disappearance of Sheena Nina Mia. Of course, we had reported her disappearance to the authorities immediately, but never had I been satisfied with how they chose to close the case. We were close teammates who had worked within arm's length for 2 years, who'd struck a fine friendship. I'm sure she'd agree. Sheena was wise beyond her years, but there was moments where her mind would drift off. The company had asked me to take Sheena under my wing, not only so she could cultivate an understanding of our company, but so she would also be an experienced professional, one that the company had plans to grooming to the highest echelon. Well, stresses from the job got to the better of her. I noticed her slip into the bathroom where I knew she would cry to herself in a stall. However, it's always been done discreetly, never getting in the way of giving a 100%. Her unbridled enthusiasm always surpassed her team's expectations, but that what made her truly special was the sincerity in her work. I know because I spent every day with her. Sheena would never ever walk away from her job without an explanation. The game was her life, her legacy. It's hard to imagine anyone walking away from it without any care or remorse. There had been something fishy behind her sudden disappearance. Nothing else made sense. The police didn't share my conclusion and were more invested in the belief that she willingly ran off into something more nefarious. As Sumika mentioned, I've had this feeling hollow ever since. All I wanted was an answer, something to make a sense of this strategy. I even thought that I could hire a private investigator, but both of her parents had passed away and she had no other surviving relatives. For anyone else, that would have been enough reason to leave it be, but neither Sumika and myself were willing to do so. Even as the two of us set about cleaning out her vacated office, we will find Sheena. Wait a minute. It says there's one active player moving in the server. That's impossible. Maybe if I check the player log I can see a screen name or something. Account name Sheena, status active, last online 3 minutes ago. Sheena? You in there? And that's how Arata came to discover Sheena was in here that we saw in the first two parts. Oh, I must have collapsed from fatigue after trying to escape the palace. Sorry, Mizunashi, I fell asleep. Huh? Mizunashi? He's being unresponsive again. Does it mean he's logged out and hasn't returned yet? I'm in. Yes, it has to be. These are plans for the World Odyssey. Right now I'm sitting in front of Heart's Palace. Yo! Ah! You scared me. Oh, are you? I'm Mr. Enigma. Your voice. Might you be Mizunashi? Yeah, it's me. Don't you recognize my skin? It's our company's mascot, Mr. Enigma. Of course I do. He's so cute. Why are you using another character's skin? Well, I figured that chatting with you might be difficult if it was just my voice, so I hoped having a visual component would help. Besides, his character gives me access to parts of the code that I can't normally touch. Admins use this skin to crack down on troublemakers. In order to help you, I'll need to be able to identify errors in the code directly. This way I can make changes in real time. Kinda perfect, don't you think? Tech savvy as always, Mizunashi. I think it's a terrific idea. There's one catch though. Because I'm an admin character, I'm not allowed to participate in battle. What? Don't stare back at me like that. I can't help it. I'm impressed by the level of graphical detail in Mr. Enigma. Thanks. Nice of you to mention it. Alright, let's try and make sense of what we know at this very moment. Your name is Shinonino Nimiya. You're currently playing a game which you helped create. You remember that much, right? Yes. So about your body in the real world. What's the matter? You're blushing. Don't put it like that. It sounds so perverted. I'm more than just a body, Mizunashi. What? A body is a body. How else should I describe it? Oh. If you don't like me referring to you as a body, then how about true form? No, body is fine. Alright then, going back to the subject at hand. Judging by your response, it seems you don't know where you are. Why is that? I wish you could tell me. It's disorientating for sure. This world feels more akin to reality than any other at the moment. If I look to my right or my left, I see the textures of World Odyssey's environments. I can feel the wind grazing my palm. Well, it's VR. Wherever you are, the real you should be wearing the white rabbit on your head. White rabbit? The goggles are optimized for games, which is what they refer to as the Alice engine. The primary selling point of it is that it introduces a dreamlike state for the wearer. Reality becomes indistinguishable from VR. A dreamlike state? Maybe I can see for myself, huh? What are you doing over there? Trying to find a way to remove my goggles. How do I take them off again, Mizunashi? Well, in order for the VR to work, the game requires all of your brain's conscious energy. You can't move until you wake up, really. Don't tell me you forgot. I'm sorry, my memory's still so hazy. Hazy, huh? I wonder if she's subconscious, has some trouble sorting out long-term memories of experiences she's made in the game. Sheena, do you have any inkling as to when you first started playing World Odyssey? Nope. Every time I shut my eyes and try to recall my past, everything goes blank. The one thing I do remember is coding World Odyssey with you and the rest of the team. If I focus too much on it, I feel nothing except for dark, frigid loneliness. For a long time, I couldn't find anyone to talk with. My prevailing sentiment was that I felt scared to death. I see. Sheena, listen to me. In the real world, you've been missing for over an entire year. Missing? What? Is that true? Yeah. We immediately filed a missing persons report with the authorities. Tokiwa and I initially figured that you were involved in some kind of incident, so we've taken it upon ourselves to search for you. I should have asked you right away, but was this choice to go missing on your own volition? I have no clue. It's tough for me to imagine how I got here in the first place, much less who's responsible for it. I see. We were worried sick, having considered all the possibilities to dizzying extent. If her resounding sentiment was in fact fear, perhaps she experienced some form of intense trauma that scarred her memories, making them inaccessible for her at the time being. Can't be help but wonder what kind of incident might have left her in this state. You see, even what I've retained from the real world, somehow I feel like as tangible as anything I've sensed in this world. Sure, I remember sitting next to you with my cup of coffee working on lines of code, but I remember the sights and smells of walking on a meadow in World's Odyssey just as vividly. It might have something to do with this Alice engine's artificial intelligence control kicking in. What? I have the suspicion that the game has identified you as an anomaly and is trying to erase you, or is trying to assume control of your character. Please don't tell me that. Just kidding. It's impossible for the AI to assume control of human consciousness as easy as I suggest. Doesn't make out it's impossible though. Why do you keep hugging me? Because you're so adorable. Adorable? Come on. Huh? No, it wasn't like that. I was talking about Mr. Enigma, not you, Mizanashi. Don't worry, Mizanashi. I don't find you cute. I wasn't fishing for compliments, but to do 180 so adamantly is disconcerting on its own. In any case, let's focus on logging you out of here so we can wake you up in the real world. Something unnerving is afoot though. That enormous hole in the sky has unleashed a chain reaction to bugs all over this game. I see. So the hole in the sky was a bug. Where'd it go? Where did what go? I've been trying to access the master UI panel to initiate a manual user logout, but the menu is nowhere to be found. You must be mistaken. There's no way that's possible. Wait, you're right. I can't perform the function on my end either. Do you think the bugs have something to do with it? We can't rule out the possibility, but the predicament could be more dire than we originally anticipated. Meaning? In the same way that our names were somehow blacklisted from the in-game chat function, I see other signs of third-party tampering in the code. Are you telling me that we've been hacked? Well, that's my guess. Even so, whoever it is, this person is in the know enough to identify the main programmer and the director of one of the unannounced titles. Blacklisting two of the key developers for this game before its release is a little suspicious, don't you think? My hair's standing just thinking about it. I mean, given that the World's Odyssey servers are running with the project was halted over a year ago is a major red flag. So long as the source code is vulnerable in someone else's hands, we need to log you out as soon as possible to bring you back, but how the hell am I supposed to escape this world? I have no idea where I am, how I got here, or how to log out. Wait a minute. What about that failsafe function? Remember the ending engage? What? Oh, you're right, I totally forgot about that. The beautiful thing about World's Odyssey is that despite being an MMORPG, it's not, there's a definitive end to it all. I wanted the players to return to reality in sheer awe of what they saw, an experience unlike anything they'd ever seen before, right? A wish was for the designs and stories to inspire gamers the same way that we were inspired. Yeah! I can't help but feel frustrated that for now it's our only option to get you out of here, but for the time being it'll have to do. So let's head to the penultimate world and destroy the final boss and catalyze the ending engage. Got it. Alright, I'm starting to feel like myself again. If I can clear this game and log out, then I'll wake up in the real world in no time. I could finally see Sumika and Lydia again. Oh, and you too, Mizanashi. Right, I'll be right beside you at the very end, so don't worry about a thing. Our next destination? Mystical Sky Capital, Odyssia, right? You know the way there, right? Of course! I helped create it after all.
In order to reach Odyssia from Hardis, we'll have to travel to Sturfall, the kingdom by the sea.
Then let's part ways for now. While you head there, I've got some investigating to do on this side.
What? You're leaving already?
Oh, Sheena, I'm gonna give you one warning for while I'm gone. Don't die, alright?
Huh? What do you mean?
It's a miracle that the server can run at all. The world is swarming with so many bugs that it's impossible to parse through the code. In fact, I'm holding my breath as I speak with you under fear that our connection could be cut off at any second. If you're ever killed in battle, or if you jump to a save point prematurely and hit the load function, there's a chance that it'll send a faulty signal to the server, which can reset our cache and disable our communication. Once we're cut off, there's no guarantee that we'd be able to connect once again.
In other words, I would have to navigate my way to the end of the game on my own.
Yes, I implore you to use extreme caution while you're in-game. By your own estimate, this game should require a minimum of 50 hours to clear the main storyline, right?
Well, if we include breaks and potential side quests, then it could take far longer.
While you're in there, you'll have to complete all the necessary side quests to access the true ending and initiate the ending engage.
Just want to specify this now, because it's the only time you're going to get. He means this. You absolutely have to do every single side quest we will encounter throughout the game to be able to get access to the true ending. I'll be showing you what happens if you don't when we get there.
It'll be a pain in the ass, but being thorough while we can't access the manual logout screen is our best shot at the moment.
Got it. I'll do whatever it takes.
Cool. I'm gonna analyze some asset files for Odyssea and get back to you. In the meantime, you won't be able to reach me. Sorry.
It's fine.
Don't look so worried. I'll have my laptop on me the whole time. I'll be checking in on your progress as often as I can, okay?
One thing. What would happen if your PC were to enter sleep mode? Would that cut off our line of communication too?
Is this your sly way of asking me not to let my laptop enter sleep mode? You worry too much. Anyway, I'll be on my way. See you later.
Oh. He left. Jeez, that guy really travels to the beat of his own drum. Someone could use a lesson on how to treat women. I'm so sorry. It was not my intention to startle you. Wait, aren't you this girl? Looks like the one in that torn painting inside of the palace. Oh, I'm sorry. You scared me. I must apologize for approaching you like this. My name is Lily Hopes. What? I recognize her. Lily was an NPC that I created to serve as a guide for new players. I don't remember her wearing this outfit in her original design, though. Do the bugs have something to do with this? Wait a sec. She has a buggy just like I do. Oh, I'm Sheena. Sheena Ninomiya. Might you be the princess of this kingdom? Huh? Yes. As you said, I am Hardis's princess. Currently, however, I am one of its most wanted criminals as well. Criminal? I was locked behind bars in a cavernous cell, charged and imprisoned for assassinating the queen. Now that she mentions it, I remember writing this dialogue for her backstory. I somewhat regret being responsible for the struggle she's faced. But in reality, you're as kind as a gentle ray of sunshine. A stern, selfless woman who is beloved by all, whom I know would never do such a thing. What? Oh, I'm not from this kingdom, but that's what I've heard about you, Princess Lily. Please, Lily will do just fine. Understood. Lily it is. I can't help but express some relief to hear that. It has been some time since anyone has referred to me as a gentle ray of sunshine. Wait, correct me if I'm wrong, but were you just escaping from the palace? Yes. Why do you ask? Did you see my father? The King of Hardis? I wish to know what became of the king and everyone inside the palace. Please, tell me everything you know. After all the cruelty she's faced from her sentence, she still expresses concern about the king and his warriors. From what I have gathered, the king has been amassing guards in order to counter the growing threat of deranged martyrs around the kingdom. However, many of those who flocked to heed the king's call never returned to tell the tale. I have tried fruitlessly to enter the palace to see it for myself, but entering as a fugitive is close to impossible. I humbly beg of you, tell me what you saw inside of the palace. What became of the king and the men in his command? I'm afraid you won't like what I have to say, Lily. Devil may care, I must know. Okay. I wandered into the palace because I heard that the kingdom was in need of guards. Much to my dismay, I called out in search of an attendant and received no response. Right from the get-go, things seemed abnormal. The king! Was he safe? I, saw the king in his throne room, but He was shrouded behind a curtain, so I didn't get a good look at him. I can say for certain that something about his demeanor felt off. In what way? His mind was slipping. The king was all wiry, and all of his soldiers seemed to follow, before launching into an aggressive pursuit. The king and his men screamed absolute nonsense at me. I think it was the bug. I mean, it must have been the curse that drove him to madness.
Curse? You must be speaking about the Antoma. How could this be? Is no one safe in this cruel world? Miss Sheena, since you had responded to the call to serve as one of our kingdom's guards, I have a favor to ask of you. As princess of this kingdom, my responsibility is to free my people from their suffering. This turmoil can no longer stand. First, I must see what has become of the palace myself. Miss Sheena, is there any way that I could convince you to accompany me?
Sure.
I know that it is a lot to ask for, but... Huh? Wait, did you say you would?
Well, bravery means doing the right thing at the right time. So just leave it to Sheena the Adventurer.
Oh, thank you.
I can only imagine how worried you must be after being separated from the king for so long. The king is probably experiencing a lot of grief as well. So let's hurry, Lily.
Okay.
I'll get into it more when, we actually get some proper gameplay and I can talk more freely, but I love Lily in this game. She's not my favourite character, but I really like Lily for what she does in this. Oh, they don't call you princess for nothing. Let's head to the throne room, hurry. Okay. Oh, hey, Rook. Huh? Say, aren't you Sheena? What a coincidence to run into you here. Oh, Rook, what are you doing here? Man, if I'd known you were heading this way, then we could have travelled here together. Don't be so shy next time. Alas, he was not in the guards. Huh? When we headed our first encounter, it was actually en route to another kingdom. Between you and me, there are plenty of rooks throughout this world. Wait, what? Plenty of rooks? What do you mean by that? You see, originally there was just me. Ever since that thing latched onto me, however, the most outlandish thing has been happening. You're right, you've got signs of the curse on your arm too, Rook. When I became possessed by this, whatever it is, I've become multiplied. Multiplied? There are multiple versions of me scattered across the world, remarkably bizarre if I say so myself. Luckily, I retain control of each and every version of me, a singular consciousness at the helm of multiple bodies. Frankly, I see it as a blessing from the Lord. What better way to expand my business and multiple merchants that I can trust? Does have multiple versions of yourself ever get to you, though? I'd be lying if I said it doesn't, but compared to how others have been affected by the curse, I have no room to complain. Oh, seems like Lily is really confused. Mizunari had mentioned before that multiple versions of Rook are appearing as a result of bugs. The bug is producing multiple copies of him. Precisely. Where did this bear come from? The lines of code establishing Rook the fast travel between locations has been corrupted. Instead of teleporting him, the game simply makes a copy. What the... what? Oh... Mr. Enigma, you can't just appear out of the blue and scare us like that. Look at how you startled Lily. Who cares? I have no time to worry about every time someone gets upset. Jeez. Has a new customer come to browse my wares? Oh, I'm Enigma the bear. Don't worry, I'm not a friend. Right, Sheena? Oh, right, he's a friend of mine. Is she talking to the bear as a friend? Apologies if I scared you. Please don't mind me. Continue on with your conversation. He's so cute. Sheena, might I make a suggestion? A suggestion? Yes, as compensation for having saved one version of me from a pack of vicious monsters, I'd like to offer you my services. Would you do me the honor? Wow, of course. On your map, I've marked a symbol showing where each of the cloned selves are. They are safe zones that martyrs rarely appear. You are free to make camp at these locations at your leisure. I'll also give you a signal so you can summon me at any time. I shall stock my wares frequently to cover you for any needs on and off the battlefield, so be sure to check back with me often. Got it, thanks a bunch, Rook. No need to thanks me, I should be thanking you for the increased business. Rook? Yes, my lady? Oh, please, just Lily is fine. I'm in no position to be answered by a royal title, but please. Very well, Lily, how might I be of service to you? Do you happen to sell anything that I could use as a weapon? A weapon, you ask? Please don't tell me you're thinking about entering the fray. These are dangerous times, my lady. My heart has already been decided. Even if it means putting myself in harm's way, I must show bravery. I do not plan on sitting idle by while Miss Sheena risks her life for me. Really? Then how about this? It's an elegant weapon, one that would keep you safe at a safe distance, while offering a means to protect yourself. My, what a gorgeous bow! I can't believe how light it feels in my hands. Many thanks, I'd be honoured to use this. How much for it? Oh please, I couldn't bear to accept money from the princess herself. Take it, I insist. No, I must pay my dues as honest merchants like yourself. As a member of the royal family, I cannot rest on the graces and deeds of good people. In fact, I refuse to do so. What was that? I see, your reputation precedes you, my lady. You are wise beyond your years. Then, if I may accept my gift at a lower rate than what my customers usually receive, consider it a gift to the crown. Oh my, is this what you subjects refer to as a discount? Indeed, a token of goodwill for you and your journey, my lady. How wonderful. I can't thank you enough. Hopefully this will do. Oh, sorry, have I acted out of turn? I thought this was maybe an expensive response for your generosity. I apologise, the rituals and customs among townsfolk are somewhat foreign to me. No, not at all. I'm merely humbled that you show such kindness to a lowly merchant like me. Now everyone, please travel safely. Hopefully our next meeting will be sooner rather than later. I shall await your signal. What a gift to be in a dozen places at once. Miss Sheena, I hope I hadn't stepped on your toes when I expressed my interest in fighting alongside you. However, as the Princess of Hearts, it is my right by birth to act in the best interests of my people. Thanks, Lily, but if we're backed into a corner and surrounded by monsters, then try not to act too rashly, okay? Okay, understood. Are you sure I could fight with you, though? I thought for sure that you'd refuse me. I'd never do that. The more the merrier. Oh, and please call me Sheena. First names will do just fine for both of us. Okay, then. Sheena. Lily. You're making me blush. Now our friendship's official. For friendship? Mind if I chime in now? I hope I'm not interrupting your lovey-dovey display. Lovey-dovey? Psst, be a bit more careful, okay, Sheena? Huh? Mr. Enigma? Don't give yourself away. I can hear you inside of my head. I'm using a private voice chat, so the others can't hear me talking to you. You can speak using this chat too. Just picture my Enigma avatar in your head and communicate with me directly. Give it a shot. Like this? Can you hear me, Mizunashi? Loud and clear. Whoa, pretty convenient. Anyway, as I'm sure you've seen by now, Lily's got a little Atoma bug just like you do. Yes, actually hers was bouncing on my knee just now. It seems fully sentient. On a side note, those spider legs attached to your fire are bug too, right? Oh, you mean these dangly things? Yes, I realised right away that dangly legs were a sign that something was off in the game. Sheena, would you mind not saying dangly so much? Is something the matter? For my sake, please. Okay. Anyway, can we leave the legs alone for now? It doesn't seem like any of the others can see the bugs fluttering right in front of them. Considering how much of it moves, you'd think that Lily would have said something by now. Has she brought it up to you before? Maybe she's just unsure of what it is. It has a mind of its own after all. I bet she's just afraid of talking about it. Maybe not. Doesn't she look amused by it? Maybe. Who wouldn't laugh? It's so cute. You can't say for certain though, can we? No one else is looking for it. We shouldn't beat around the bush. Let's just ask her directly. Right, still, it's strange that no one else is reacting. Lily's joined your party. Yay, which means we can finally get our DLC character off the party. Hey, Lily, can you see this little bug? Don't tell me you can see it too. Yes, actually, I've been able to see it this whole time. I can see it too, Sheena. Sheena has one similar, albeit purple instead of yellow. That's a relief. I no longer have to pretend it doesn't exist. Oh, sorry, it seems that mine has taken to you, Sheena. Hey, come back. This bug, as you call it, suddenly appeared from my body. First it was this weird bump, but over time it developed a mind of its own. I assume that it's a physical manifestation of the Atoma itself. Oh, could you tell me a bit more about how it began acting on its own accord? It was when I'd been falsely accused and imprisoned for assassinating the Queen. My guards were the only line to the outside world. I was informed that scores of innocent people were mysteriously dying as a result of the Atoma scourge, and many others disappeared. Oh, I recognise that term. The merchant from the earlier mentioned the same thing to me. He said something about people disappearing like smoke. Yes, personally I believe that those missing were abducted by some kind of dark evil magic. From what I was told, there was a handful of survivors from the event that live in constant fear of the Atoma and the martyrs. No matter how badly I wanted to understand the plight of those who were affected, there was little that I could actually do. Eventually, the kiss of the Atoma took the form of this painful bruise. I believed that I too would soon succumb to the deadly curse. Just as I accepted my fate, this one popped out. When I first met you, Sheena, you can imagine the surprise on my face when I noticed that you were carrying an Atoma around just like me. I wouldn't call it carrying around so much as it tends to follow me wherever I go. Huh? Are they playing with one another? Well, by the looks of things, they seem like they're sniffing each other out. Maybe they recognize each other as friends. The way this one circles around the other, it looks like they're having fun. How precious. Don't get too attached. At the end of the day, they're still connected to the Atoma. It's important to note that common threads like this are the two Diatoma bugs appeared, which seem to be periods of extreme stress. I find it likely that there might be others who have Diatoma bugs that behave just like these two do. Lily, do you happen to know anyone else who possesses things like these two? I don't. Ever since my escape, I've been doing my best to keep a low profile, so I haven't had much contact with anyone besides you two. Now that you mention it, Lily, you said that you were locked up in a heavily guarded prison, right? How were you able to escape? Well, the chaos sown by the Diatoma Scourge diverted the attention of the kingdom's authority to other, more pressing matters. So after enough time had passed, one of the prison guards let me escape out of pity. Once I'd gotten out, I took to wandering out through a nearby town, and others saw the border mark Diatoma on them. Unfortunately, however, they were unable to control Diatoma and were subsequently devoured without a chance to get away. Sheena's Diatoma tried to eat her when it first activated too. Which means it has the ability to eat people whole whether it breaks off from its host or not. It's a carnivorous virus. Lily, thank you for sharing that much with us. I'm sorry for reminding you of what must have been a difficult, painful memory. It's fine. These are desperate times. Each of us needs to get the help when we can. Sharing our stories means being able to join in the fight. I consider myself quite fortunate to have met the two of you. Bagu! Bagu. I know, we can call them buggies. What? Mr. Bear, let's call these things buggies from now on. Diatoma isn't cute at all. Bagu. It's kind of like a baby. Right? Right? Is that okay with you, Mr. Bear? I don't care. But if were they worth giving a nickname to? I understand that they're dangerous beings, but if we have to coexist with them anyways, you might as well find them cute. Do as you please. As long as you know they're dangerous, I'm good. Anyways, your naming sense hasn't changed one bit. Thank you. That wasn't a compliment. Kiki. Just putting out that the most adorable thing about Lily is her not so subtle crush towards Sheena. But I'll get more into that when we, not have cutscenes. Oh yeah, well I don't remember the details for every single NPC we've made. Lily's current design is cute, but the fact that she's changed so much throws me off. Do you think that this has something to do with the bugs? Probably. Maybe the assets of her character or got shifted or something. I should ask Lydia, her character designer. My throat's starting to tire, just putting it out there. So Lily's an escaped convict who has joined our party, a far cry from her original plotline, huh? Well, obviously, irregularities throughout all the world's odyssey, like you and Diatoma, are to be expected by now. Given that the bugs have changed everything from new monsters to producing clones of Rook, strange NPC behaviour seems almost tame. Irregularities? Would you mind not referring to me as some line of code? That's what I meant was... You wanted me to mention how peculiar it is that Rook and Lily are exhibiting changes that are aligned with their original programming, right? Although they are NPCs, you must remember that the Alice engine is powerful in the core of their decision-making process. This AI is like magic. Somehow they are able to make split-second decisions, thinking and reacting in a way indistinguishable from humans. To some degree, they're as human as you or me. Yeah, judging from how they describe their thought patterns, this AI is scarily complex. I must admit, the implications frighten me. What's going on here? We should be able to reach the throne room through this hallway. The pathway seems to have been sealed off. Let's find another way. And we finally have gameplay! Oh, my throat can relax for like a minute as we do the last minute of this recording for this part. The first thing I do is immediately take our DLC character out of the party, which she'll remain for the rest of the fucking Let's Play. Every time you leave or re-enter the pause menu, you'll get a tip until you've gone through all the tips and tutorials the game wants to do. But going back on what I mentioned, you kind of noticed it already, like where Arata when, okay, not to interrupt your little lovey-dovey moment, and Lily was like, lovey-dovey, but Lily gets a tremendously huge crush on Sheena, and it shines throughout the entire adventure, and it's the most adorable thing in this game. I love her character in that sense so much. But I gotta wrap this up and let my throat relax. So next time on Death and Request, we'll actually have gameplay. I'm not kidding, we'll have some cutscenes still, but it's only for like the first chunk of the part, and then we'll actually have gameplay, so until then, take care.